Vanakkam Namaste, and a very good day to everyone. I'm Vimuri Megota from Sri Lanka. Today, I have the honor of serving as your host on behalf of the International Association for Quality Education and the Ministry of Education, Uva Province, Sri Lanka. The International Professional Development Program for Educators is a joint educational endeavor by the International Association for Quality Education and the Ministry of Education, Uva Province, Sri Lanka, in collaboration with the Vijayabhumi University. It is my great pleasure to welcome our esteemed speaker for today's session, Mr. Rajiv Kohli, Principal, Vijayabhumi Singapore International School, Mumbai, India. Today, he will speak on how to handle the disruptive parents. Mr. Rajiv Kohli, sir, we are truly delighted to have you with us. On behalf of the International Association for Quality Education, the Minister of Education, Uva Province, Sri Lanka, and all our participants, I warmly welcome you to this session. The floor is yours now, sir.
Thank you, Vyomini, and happy evening to everybody. It's a privilege for me to be part of this interactive session. And I expect everyone to be interactive. I'll try to make it as much as possible for interaction. So that would be easier for everyone to discussion in terms of dialogues, not necessarily one side of the interaction would be. So I would start with, our topic for today is based on how to deal with the disruptive parents. So before starting, I just wanted to include in my interaction, it's a strategies that can be used to handle disruptive parents. So try to include in this the understanding parents' perspective. Next, core principles in dealing with disruptive parents, practical communication strategies which requires as an educator, and a step-by-step process for heated encounters with the parents, and preventing disruptions and when things need to be escalated. So these are the basic area of topics we try to include in this our discussion. So I would love to start with one case, which I try to bring. It's during a parent-teacher meeting, Mr. Sharma arrives visibly upset. The teacher has noted repeated disruptive behavior from his son in class, talking over others, missing homework. When the teacher shares this, Sharma interrupts, raises his voice and says, "My son tells me you are always picking on him. If he is not doing well, it is because you are not teaching properly." The room becomes tense. How parents nearby notice the outburst? How should, as a teacher, we need to handle this? So I have tried to put in the form like step one. I have few suggestions. If anybody want to say on something, it's open to it. Otherwise, I would start with, we may have few steps, which is not necessary. I just collated these steps in form of my experience. First step is stay calm and acknowledge. That's a very important to acknowledge. As a teacher, I should have a neutral tone. And I can say, I can see you are concerned, Mr. Sharma, and I want to work with you to support your child. I can say a next step, I can redirect to evidence that teacher can pull out that attendance record or homework tags or logs and the classwork samples. And we can say that here are some examples of the missed assignment. Let's look at how we can help him to complete these. Next, we can set boundaries at times. Mr. Sharma tries to continue interrupting. The teacher respectfully can say, "I'd like to us to keep this conversation constructive. If you prefer, we can continue this discussion in the front of the principal." Next, we can use the collaborative language as the teachers can reframes. Together, we can help your child, perhaps setting a homework routine at home and weekly check-ins at the school can help. So we can make it a guiding as well as collaborative with the parent for the betterment of the child. Next, I have combined this following up in writing. After the PTM gets over, teacher may write an email or a letter as summarizing what issues being raised or discussed, agreed actions, maybe the homework routines, weekly checks in, or the next meeting days to check out the action which we have planned. So this is not the only five steps, depends on the situations. Teacher may add on many as per the personal experience and the consequences being raised. So what would be the benefit of this way to handle? Situation does not escalate further. Parents feel heard and they feel better if they feel they are heard by the teacher, but understand the boundaries. That's an important part. And there will be a documented plan also, reducing chances of future disputes with that parent. And teacher and parents expect it is being concerned. Teacher is also concerned for the child's behavior and child's performance as well. And teacher demonstrates the professionalism in front of the parents, other parents sitting in the PTM. So now, before moving further, we need to understand the parents' perspective. When you say parents' perspective, parents may, because it's an important integral part of our triangular relationship. At times, as a teacher or as a school, we look for the child and the teacher, not looking at the expectations of parent or what is the expectations we have been given before starting a school. So parents is an integral part of the triangular relationship, because what we are teaching to the child and we are interacting with child, we include parents at end when problems comes up, when communication requires to them. But if we take parents into account in participation form, and they feel responsible and engaged with the child's performance, we may invite them to the school, at times have a session of their expertise. They feel confident, they feel better, and they feel peers, and everybody is to, because they feel responsible in that manner. So we need to look at parents' perspective also. The parents may be anger at as a mask. Often disruptive parents are not just difficult ones, but their anger covers maybe the fear, maybe the guilt, maybe the frustration, or maybe insecurity at times with their child's future perspectives. So, what are different types of disruptive parents can be? It may be the parents is angry and it's giving loud reactions, maybe the demanding in certain stages. Then it may be the troublesome parents, maybe the future, maybe the personality of the parent may be emotional at times, possibly unstable with the child, and often inconsistent in their reactions. And third category I can define as an afraid parents. Afraid parents are those parents who are anxious about the child's future. And at times they are very overprotective because of the single child, or any other reason behind. That is most of cases these days, and the distrustful. They feel untrust with the child's the future or a career or a performance. And at times the parents are very crazy, extreme crazy. It may be the irrational in their own reactions and manipulative behavior. So I don't say these are only four. Understanding which type, it becomes easy for us to deal with and help the parent as per the responses, and not tailor made. It's not necessary. It's an stick which can be used for any time there. A core principle in dealing with disruptive parents, it's very simple. We need to stay calm and be professional as a teacher, as a professional, as an head of the school. We never mirror their anger. We can't react it as they are reacting to us. Our calmness helps de-escalate the process. And it's a very important, we should listen very carefully and very actively. So active listening is an important segment when you are communicating with the parents which have some disruption in their own manner. So we let them talk without interruption, paraphrase what they said. I hear you're worried. That maybe phrase can be validate feelings, even if we don't agree also. Validate feelings, don't feel they give them confidence on that. I can say separating that person from the problem. So what problems the parent is raising, I need to separate the problem with that. Like if talking about homework, so much focus on the issue, on the homework, on a discipline, on a marks performance, or anything, not the parent's attitude. So make that attitude the parent separate, then what problem parent is raising. So I need to address more focusingly on the problem parent is raising. So that makes them, we are concerned about what they are raising it as such, in spite of what reactions are there. And we need to set boundaries at times. Very important. We need to firm on it, not react, firm on the boundaries, making it clear behavior is unacceptable at times, shouting, personal attacks, or personal reactions, keeping the door open to respectful dialogue or a communication. So, and so I will try to share here some practical communication strategies. Very often it happens within the friends, within the outside, within the reception areas. Pause. That's a very beautiful the reactions or actions. When confronted with the shouting, stay silent for a few seconds. That gives the correct message to the parent or a person who is reacting, that this often disarms the intensity of the reaction of the parents within the boundaries. Next, I would try to say I statement. In spite of telling you are unreasonable to respond, you are telling this wrong or something, I could say easily, I want to make sure I fully understood your concern, or I will make sure this thing will happen and the child will perform in the manner which it is useful for the child. So this I statement will help easy to calm down the aggression or the disruption of the parents. Next, neutral body language. Body language and expressions and the face expression at times makes very different. It provides them, the opposite parent or anybody will very easily calm down, sit upright, avoid defensive gestures. Well, I should not defend ourselves. I should understand. I should give reactions. I'm listening to you. I'm getting what you mean to say. It's correct, maybe, or may not be correct. So give neutral body language, folded arms, eye rolling about so that they feel like I'm connecting with them. Maintain steady eye contact. So if I don't steady eye contact, they feel they are not understanding, they are not listening what I mean to say. So that gives body language gives very important reactions to parents. Reframes negatives. That's a very important. This happens with the child also. Same thing, if I reframes negative in a positive way, the child will understand. The same way, it's parent also at times, because parents also become a child at times with the child's, because for every mother or father, parent child is important, and they go at times very beyond what then they know that I'm going beyond for my child, but it's a parent what to say. So turn complaint into the solution to the problems they are raising. You say homework is overwhelming. Let's discuss manageable options. That's an example I included here. So this is about communication strategies, which is very important to handle the disruptive parents. Pause, I statement, neutral body language, reframes negatives. If anybody wants to say any other, we can please welcome to share before moving further. I'll move forward. So a step-by-step process for heated encounters. So it's another way to handle the heated encounters into the positive communication or a dialogue between the parent and the teacher or a administrator. Acknowledge the emotions. I can see this issue is very upsetting to you. I can say simple. I can see it is bothering you at times, the behavior of the child, and you provide some continuous statement which gives them hold into the bucket. invite mostly a collaboration that I said in beginning also. It's very easy not to make parents outside the external stakeholder. Why I say stakeholder? Because child, parent, school, and teacher. So there are four, and the center is the child. Everybody bothering about the child. But when we're running a school, we're running a content of the learning and teaching in class. We take parents outside. We don't inform them in a regular basis. We don't invite them to have a session of your expertise in this particular plan of the action. So if they come to the class, they it's not for observation. They may take sessions at times. They feel accountable, they feel responsible of the child learning, and with the peers they understand the consequences and the problems the teachers are facing. So that gives a better we need to invite a collaboration here, not only for uh, his or her child, maybe for the whole grade of that class. That gives them the confidence and the part of the system of the school. Let's work together to figure out what can help that your child the best. So that words will be happy for them because they feel that the teacher is looking for my child the best in my child. So that way they may collaborate with you. They wanted to help you out. They wanted to help you out. The whole class maybe together at times. They can come a half an hour, have a discussion. Maybe they have expertise in their own area. They can work with the school. So that is more important. I always reiterate on the parents' involvement into the class, the parents' involvement into the school, parents' involvement into the decision at times. And it's about from not inviting. We need to inform them maybe in the weekly, the updates, maybe in the fortnightly updates, what we are doing with your child in terms of Excel sheet, in terms of anything sharing as such we can do. So parents get to know how what is happening with my child, how school is progressing, the performance of my child, not only what's performance of the single child, in general in a class, what are the things that we are doing. So redirect the students' need. Keep focus off adult conflicts. So it's the same way. Avoid the discussion arguments. Focus on the problems or the issue raised by the parents. So we will focus on student needs, the problems of the focus on the problem area of which is impacting teaching and learning, not with the child. Maybe at times, maybe the multiple childs, maybe number of childs, maybe the whole class. It might be. So we should focus on that so that we can avoid the senior or adult conflict between the parents and the school community as well. Offer choices or various solutions instead of ultimatums. At times we write as a teacher, this child is unable to do that. In place of that, if we could do these things, that this child can do perform better. Or better, we can start with this child is very aggressive at times in playing tennis court. So that aggression means it's no the reflection very easy. The reflection is easy. He know how to reflex. So that can be used in studies also. When the time comes, only it requires a focus. So that's instead of giving ultimatum, we can use analytical skill requires while playing tennis and then he can use that analytical skill while doing maths also. But still, he is not focusing at times when he is studying out or distracted very easily. So parents understands the teacher is not giving me ultimatums. They are understanding my child aptitude and how to grow further, and they are adding on the values through which they can perform in their own way in the learning in a better way. Close with next step. It means when you say close with next step, yeah, the way where things are going, go for the next step means next, what next we can plan. So if something is there with the problem is not doing homework regularly, set up a plan, action plan. Maybe he's doing 4 sums every day on that topic. I find this particular concept is not able to understand. I will give basic focus and I give very simple questions to him and explain those things. Give some small worksheet where he confidently able to solve based on preset assignments, or you can say the written summary, and then you can inform in maybe weekly or after fortnightly, and you can just communicate the parents on call either and follow up what next the step and the reverse we can say feedback from the parents how he is doing at performance at home, whether he is doing interested on its own or not. So that gives these are the few step by step process which can be avoided, which can be avoid the counters in heated encounters or the arguments with the parents. Preventing disruptions, I summarizes as I say, communication in a positive communication, maybe individually, which is not easily possible every time, until unless it's a very specific concern with a certain child. We can generate newsletters. We can send the maybe newsletters on a certain interval, which which a compilation of the activities, compilation of performances or the pictures, events where their child involvements are there mostly. If any praising, if any praise of anything requires related to the worth, not unnecessarily related to the worth, it has to be written to the child, which gives them boost the confidence of a child, and they will show to the parent, and parent feel confident things are happening, and they will be giving you suggestions more on including a lot of other activities or anything suggestions comes up from there. We may often involve a parent workshop. For example, I would say in a basically in senior section of a child 12 years or above, the parents workshop at times important. My child is using mobiles at home most of the times and playing games, and there's a lot of screen time. So the parents need to understand what is the parenting in 21st century, the scenario of education. As a parent, as a teacher, we are understanding actually the how to go ahead. Problem is still we don't know, but we trying to give some suggestions where we can invite as a kind of half an hour workshop, like a interactive workshop. Coming as a conclusion, we need to bring the reports or a case studies from the different communities of the different countries. They have work on safeguarding screen time or how to change screen timings, impact of screen timings to the constructive, maybe the physical work, maybe the sports, maybe the study hours, and maybe the focus as well. So parenting workshop is very much important these days because parents are also alone in a nuclear family, not working with the joint family where the collaboration, where the exchange of things are happening automatically. But most parents are these days working independently, and the nuclear family they don't have much time with provide the constructive time with with the child. So it is challenge for them. So they need support, they need understanding, they need collaboration how to handle child at home, which is because 8 hours, 7 hours child is with the school, and rest next to the whole day it is at home. So they need strategies to handle the child, which reduces the disruption and that which is because of fear at times, because of performances at times, what I started in the beginning. So that's only hear from a school. That gives them parents to only hear from the school when they're having collaborative workshops or a expertise workshop, which give them what is the difference. This net gen children these days, because they know how to do things easy. They know information is a bigger asset for them. They know everything in terms of information, but how the information can be translated into the knowledge form, where our role comes up. So when there is a trouble are more likely to be defensive, then the parents are required the assistance or a support from school through maybe we can invite on a coffee hours, which can be converted into a certain discussion point, which is school can compile to discuss with the parents. Next is establish a clear policies about meetings. For example, it may be the parent-teacher meeting. There should be a monthly fixed meetings for them, and who is going to attend. What are the agendas we are discussing during those meetings? It may be the parent-teacher meeting. It may be the discussion about orientation of the courses. which introducing, or about telling them in the beginning of the session what are the learning objectives we are creating and how we are going to proceed with that. And at the end, how the assessment strategy is to be there and what are their roles, the parents' roles into in the beginning of the session. That gives a clear understanding of what school is going to do with my kid in coming months or at the end of the year. So for that requirements is the time should be fixed because parents are busy in their own way, their own work. So the time monthly or alternate months, whatever is these kind of things are defined. It has to be clear in the beginning of the session, and agendas to discussion they can bring it. So they have get through that. They have get dialogue to say in school. So they feel that they will be inviting me monthly, maybe on Saturday for 20 minutes. So they feel responsible for their own say. It will be reduces the distraction, their fear, and not waiting for 3 months to do that when things are over. If they monthly they are connecting with us, maybe online, maybe physical. So their versions has to be clear at very early stage, and the corrective measures we can do as a school also with them. We need to train. This is an apart from the parents to have training on that, our training staff is very important to in a communication, in a way to respond consistently in the same manner. So all teachers should have been trained to respond at what level, and then how to pass on the next level to the other level or escalate the problem or issue. So there should not be a mixed reactions from various teachers on a certain selected issues or certain relations to the how to escalate the problem at what stage. So that is to be training is requires. It's very early stage the session. It should be there. That gives them conflict reduces, and they understand the expectations from the teachers as well as school as well. But when things escalates, that's the next problem. When things are going to be escalate, then problems arises and things has been worsened. Don't go for it alone. When things are going to escalate, it has to be as a school, as a teacher, need to inform the certain coordinator or a certain level of the area in the school where the structure has been defined, and it has to be defined by stages, and then it will be clear to everybody. Have another staff member present in a particularly volatile situations when you feel certain problems are coming up and being already being discussed or written somewhere. If I'm unable to do it, be positively respond, and then you it's easily I can say I will get back to you after confirmation with my coordinator, or I will pass on to the your concern to the coordinator, and coordinators will get back to you on a certain area of the concerned parent has raised. So that reduces their the time, makes them things easier, and the coordinators next level it can be easily understandable because they understand the various parents in that way. Use written records. Whatever the conversation is happening that during parent teacher meeting or during concern meetings or during orientation meetings, and it has to be recorded in a certain space, and that space can be shared with the decision in writing to all community, which being defined when we have this kind of community parent community discussions are happening, maybe in terms of open dialogue or open houses with the parents. It's good to invite maybe quarterly parent open houses. They can come and visit the classroom. They can see the others children work, and they can compare their work. They can have their meals in the school. They understand how my children are getting meals. They can see visualize on its own how my child is being treated by the teachers, by the staff, by the support, by the administration, by the lab people, and so on. So next is know using calmly end the meeting. So I can say we will need to continue this later when we talk respectfully, very politely, or some other sentence. I may not be good in that phrase of the sentence, but everybody, their own way of respectfully response is going continue. Because so give them correct form response. I'm not going to carry forward the way you are carrying the the issue. I'm concerned with the child's performance. I'm concerned with the child's, your precious, valuable child, but I'm not concerned what way you are reacting. At times, it is up to you how you react positively, respectfully to the parents and phrase the sentence in a positive manner. This nobody else, other people can teach to other on that way. So we should know where to stop conversation when things going beyond which you feel it is beyond the respectful conversation. And obviously, we need to follow protocols of the school. In extreme cases, the threats, harassment involve administration or a security. That's important. If going beyond the school context environment, where everybody has to behave in a certain manner, if that manner is crossing, then we need to involve our administration or a security to respond politely and give them channel to discuss in a different the office or a premises so that it cannot be generalized in the manner. So that's a basic. At and I can say deceptive parents, it's often active out of fear or a frustration. That's everybody here sitting as a school leader or a school teacher will agree. At times, parents is not a destructive parents. It's a human tendency to disrupt our own reactions, our own behavior. If I got some frustration, some aggression from somewhere, or I have a fear. Out of fear, I used to say something which I feel is going to be happen. I know I'm sure to it, but still I wanted to react in the manner. So I wanted to show them that I'm right and the school is doing or a teacher is doing wrong in some manner. So as a teacher, as a school, we don't need to feel win if I my arguments are good. I don't need to argument. It's not a debate of parliament or a debate of any discussion to win certain things, but it is about winning the heart of the parents and parents understand it is about the child at the end, child as the focus, school, teacher, administration, including parents, are looking at the child's growth. Child's is stake is basically the responsibility, as you can say, responsibility in the terms of its a future plan. The way child want, every parent's child is unique, so it's not about as a school, as a teacher, I had gone the win the argument with these parents, but to de-escalate. I don't want to escalate to situation from my side to counselor or at times to because every teacher is a counselor. It should be counselor. It should be trained counselor in certain stage. I cannot say to forward that particular child is behaving differently. So I need to feel as a parent, as a father, as a mother to understand if my child used to do what I have to react. The same way you react, it will be permanent, perfect ones. I want to always say if you want to do certain remedies, certain corrections for your school in a class, certain boys or a girl is doing, you must have to feel if my daughter or my son used to do what I have to say, what I have to react same way, it will never go different way altogether. And the feeling will go to the child, feeling will go to the parent also, that the teacher is reacting and behaving in the way as it is supposed to be with the child, with the my child, I would have to react. Then it will not be any problem. So we need to try to avoid escalation and forward my problem. The parents is discussing maybe I'll forwarding to the coordinator and next forwarding to the deputy head of the school or a principal of the school. Rather, refocus on the child and preserve a professional partnership uh, partnership between the parent uh, and uh, and the school and the teacher. So that's an always be very much important. Uh, and then parents should feel it is a partnership. It is not about uh, sending a child to school and forget everything. It's a solely responsibility of the school to groom my child in the manner which I want. How it's possible? 20 children in a class, and the school, the teachers, individual teachers are grooming in mass every 20 child differently. How is possible? So they need to understand the partnership in a professional manner. They are also part of the school because their child is studying in it. It's not alumni with the child. It's a collaboration with the parent. They need to understand to conversation. You are equally responsible, equally uh, answerable the good or bad of happening in the school, and their suggestion has to be incorporated, acceptable. They feel acceptable. Whether they accept or not doesn't matter. It depends on the process of the yearly process of the school and the system in the school. So key reminder: firm, fair, and respectful communication build trust, which is utmost in respect to the education segment. Trust is important. If school uh, build a trust with the parent, with the parent's family. Maybe you may invite as in grandfather day, where grandfather bringing into the school, you're making a joint family system of the society, where the grandparent coming to school, they are talking about certain stories of to all of the kids. If they don't, some of kids not having grandparent, they feel the feelings of the school have including a society structure, the family structure that gives them pass on the trust to outside and praise the appreciation of that anything happening in the school or any parent or a grandparent involving. It's not only with the parent. We need to involve the family involved if it is there possible. Celebrate few the activities which is there in the community nearby. This is important. It may be different in Indian one state in India to the other state in India in the same way in Sri Lanka also. Not necessary every state will or any province will be followed the same way. So it depends on the local requirements of the societal structure, celebration of the festivals. It has to be done within that. They feel connected and parents also feels good. So my child is learning, which I am unable to provide at my house due to certain reasons, certain structures. So with this, I just try to stop myself into the communication part. I'm open to any questions or discussions at this stage.
You're now able to unmute so that you can ask any questions from sir.
You can put chat box if you're unable to do that. We can put questions on the chat box. We would answer, or I would like to love your views also. Anybody want to say? Because I'm also trying to this work this interactive session. I want to hear from you and learn it also because the area of, or reasons are different. So at times one reason give the examples and settings to the other reasons in India itself. So that's the way Sri Lanka also. I would love to hear what you are doing. What are the areas I pointed out in certain stages?
Good
Please
evening,
unmute yourself.
Rashmi ma'am. You're there. We would like to hear some feedback from you, please.
Okay. Are you
Yes,
talking to me?
yes ma'am.
Okay,
Good
okay.
evening, ma'am.
So
Hi,
first,
Rashmi ma'am.
just
Hi,
thank you very
hi,
much,
Rashmi
sir.
ma'am.
Nice meeting you. Good evening. And it
Good evening.
was such a wonderful discussion today. And I want to thank you for choosing this wonderful topic. I'm sure that you are at the higher level of teaching, like a professor, not in the school. Am I right, sir?
No, I'm a school person only because it's a Cambridge A level, AS level.
I see, I see.
I'm 35
Oh,
school education only. I'm the only one in the panel discussion from that school segment.
oh,
I've
okay, okay.
35 years. I'm a school segment only. Here I'm looking after AS and A level Cambridge curriculum, junior
Okay.
college we call as.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm a school person. I'm a teacher by heart.
That's great, sir. I was not knowing that, but that's why I was wondering that professor from higher because I'm also a blend of two. I've
I
done my
know.
doctorate and then I worked in Mumbai University and all that. But I had to come down to the level of school also because my son was studying at, Arya Vidya Mandir. So, as
Okay.
you have suggested today to the parents, that they should be with the children's, formative years. That is very important. So what I was doing, I was teaching in that school, so that way I was close to the my child, and it is so difficult to handle the boys and the boys school. And what we are finding these days, that lots of suicides are also being done by the young students. So I will talk about the Podar School at Santa Cruz. So one of my friend's daughter, she committed suicide for no reasons. Because when these students are studying in a very, you can say posh school, then they are dealing with many problems, you know. So now, because you were talking today in such a good way, and what I really liked is that we should have joint families. That's a wonderful
But
solution.
it's difficult these days because the earlier we used to have in a one city only, but these days
Right.
because of work differences, people go out of it. And as a school, I need to understand because they are not getting what my father used to give. Father never used to give much because that my dad is also was busy. But my
Hmm.
grandfather, my dadi and my nanaji, they used to give me the stories and different sort of love affection. So
Right,
at
sir.
times we could invite grandparent day, celebrate any reasons, just reason to invite them. They can speak. The children, all of the group will happy to see it. They feel connected. That's an
You are very right. And we are staying with our son. So the granddaughter is 5 years old and she's learning a lot. And she's being looked after emotionally also. So that is one of the things, sir. And then, if you will allow me, then I can discuss with you. I will tell you that I was taking a training on behalf of CBSE in Pune. Then one teacher came from Dubai side. So what she told, we were all really surprised to know that she said that one of the teacher looked at the child, okay, and looked into his eyes only. She didn't say anything. And next day, the parents came and they said, our child is in the ICU. Okay. And then, uh, you know, the teacher was shunted out. So, such behaviors are why it is happening. We have to see that they are so much pampered. So, as you have told about your, childhood when you were in the school, and even I, then it was a different story, and we were not that much pampered. Am I right, sir? So, that
yeah.
point which you have given, so even for Sri Lanka, this is true because I had, visited them so many times. So, the people are like that, where the whole family is staying together and children are given the right values. This is what I feel. And then we the parents have to think that point. I think you have given in Kota the suicides are happening because the parents are telling the children that they have to go to the IIT, right, sir?
Yeah. So
And
I agreed with you. Actually, the parents' expectations are high these days. Earlier, it was not very high expectations. Parents expect a lot from the kids. So at times they need to understand. We need counseling parents
right,
about don't expect which is just let them feel do whatever the child is doing and observe them. They don't observe.
counseling, career
Yeah,
counseling. Right, sir? Am I right,
yeah,
sir? Or you have got
yeah.
something else to add to
Uh,
it?
Actually, at times the parent expect a lot. I want my child should do it. They don't see
Yeah.
what child naturally growing and understanding and adopting things.
And the
And they,
multiple
yeah,
intelligence,
yeah,
whether,
yeah.
what is his talent? he
Yeah,
wants to go to
they
the big
don't get
side.
time.
Yeah,
In my school time, my father never asked me what you want to do. My
yeah,
whatever I feel growing, and I may not be. I'm from the business family, but it's still
yeah,
they don't see me to go for business. I want to do computers. Okay, go. Where you get to do? I need to find out on its own and
yeah.
give them chance to take responsibility. These days, we are making
Yes,
giving everything to the child. We're making them handicapped at times. So giving want to play cricket, give the full kit
right.
to the child. What he will do, fill
Ah,
whole kit of it. At
yeah,
least let them try the play with the alternative of the ball.
yeah.
Let them pocket money,
Okay.
save the money, get the ball, get the ball.
Yes,
So
yes,
these things makes them confident and organize themselves on its own and go and play and try with different stages of the sports. It's
yes,
not by providing every racket in the whole school. There will be one kid used to be there now. But nowadays, every parents used to give. So they're giving a lot of things, and children feels I have everything in my life. They
yes,
have
yes.
they have fear of failures. They don't want to fail. If you say you cannot do this, they don't like it actually.
I like
So
this point. A great point, sir.
yeah, so
We
they
should
need
train
to
them to accept the failures as
yeah.
the success.
Yeah, that's the reason there no inventions are coming up. They are not, if you last look at 20 years in Europe, you haven't
Yeah.
find new inventions are coming up in sciences because we are not giving them chance to think on their own way by which virtue they are
Creative
there
thinking,
in the world.
very important for we should give them chance to think. And so here I want to add one more point, the single parent. So they should be very cautious that how to handle, like if they are not staying together, so that also they have to handle. Arya Vidya Mandir, we had Smita Patil's son was there, Pratik Babbar, and he
Okay.
was always lost, and he could not do well in his studies. But one thing was good, that his grandparents were staying with him. She was such a big star, and
I know.
father was also a big star, both of them. So this child could not do better. And we were trying to help him. And later on, he had taken a refuge in the drugs. But later on, the grandparents, they solved this problem. So such people, and what I am finding, I met a lady who is I am from Lucknow, but she left her job for her son. And her son is studying in a very good school. And he's doing very well. He got the prize, national first prize in Spell B also, because she left her job and she looked after the child. So such things are also happening, that mothers or maybe fathers have to look after the child, right, sir?
Yeah.
So,
So
and counseling is very important in the school. So we should have counselors, that children, they don't commit suicides, and they are not going much to the social media, because the social media, they are not getting very good, advices. That is there, sir. And I think we have to think of one thing, that they should not commit suicide, because in Bharti Vidyapeeth, that is a school, not here, a residential school. One boy, he committed suicide. It was a school, eighth, ninth class children, for a girl. And later on, the case was going on, and then his body was, taken out from this thing and all that. So many things happened. So that also we should take care, that the life of. So this is what I can say, sir. And now you can answer the audiences, because most of them will be parents, just to ask the question from sir, and they can express in their views also, because they all are principals.
yeah, I'm looking for your own views actually, from your perspective or your scenarios or your experience. I wanted to look in that way. Please, if you feel free to connect. That's why I left 15 minutes for, ideally, look at 15 minutes because discussion in between, not able to communicate. But I don't want to hold with my presentation. So it's more interaction is required, and you are from the beloved part of the India, Sri Lanka. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've been
Avinash,
growing and
sir.
looking
Sir,
at.
we can tell Avinash Kulkarni, sir. He's the principal in a very good school, Ramshed School. Sir, are you there? Avinash, sir. Avinash Kulkarni, sir.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, Avinash
Talk
sir.
now, you talk.
Welcome to that. Welcome to that session, sir.
It's very nice session, sir. Very delightful and informative session, no doubt about it. As Rashmi madam has told about the suicidal cases, it is day by day increasing, no doubt about it. And we need to counsel, we need to make sure that everyone is understanding the essentials of mental health, because it is the case of the mental health, how they are
Right.
actually balancing the stress, how they are balancing their emotions, and how they are going to make interpersonal relationship. So that type of counseling we need to do, and I feel it's a need of our everyone has to work on that. It is not only the parents or the students or only the teachers. It is a job of all stakeholders, and that is what I am looking as a principal. I am taking many sessions for the parents. Day before yesterday only we had a
Yeah,
posted one video on suicidal case, which is been done by students only. I told
great.
them to make the video. What are the causes for suicide and what are the things immediately the child gets in the mind. So they investigated and they made a simple video just to propagate that that mindset should not be there. So such small steps, if we as a school leaders take, it will be a collective effort and conducive environment for learning can be easily created. That is what I wanted to say.
I want to add on what you rightly said. It's important as an adult, I should go for a walk. I could go for physical activity. Then child will also follow. We need to encourage the child to be involved in a physical one. They need to see the nature. I don't find everybody with the mobile and the parents also the same way, and the child will also look at the same way. I expect from the child, but I do the same way. So we don't go, we involve children in a physical recreations and more on natural connects. And the country like Sri Lanka having a lot of natural surroundings, they can go out and without any reason, without thinking, let them explore on their own way, let them for half an hour, get the something and come back or another strategies can be planned so that physical activity give them relaxation in a mind in spite of the screen time that makes little confidence and then need to show by the teacher also not only it's not only for the kids to have go for walk and play games teachers also requires because as a teacher we need to change
Absolutely.
ourselves we'll go to the role model to children they are looking at us as in better than the parents actually at times they're looking at teacher as a their model for whatever they are doing, whatever you do, you follow indirectly or directly. They follow. I am rightly believe in that form. If I proper uniform myself, then kid will follow. Kid will not say anything on that. So that's a thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you. And Param Shivam, sir, he has given, in the chat box. Why don't you invite? I invite you, sir, to give your, views. Mr. Param Shivam has given a very good point. Please go through, sir, in the chat. I
Yeah, not
invite
only the
you.
parents, but also the teachers don't give time for the children to think. Yeah, very exactly.
So,
Param sir
so
is
invite
correct.
him, sir. Let us
Yeah.
understand more on this. He's from Sri Lanka, I think. Please kindly make yourself, unmute yourself.
Param sir, please.
Okay, then next I will invite someone else from Sri Lanka. I want to know about what is their ideas of the way we think in India, or it is little bit different. How the parents they look after their children. Yes. Who is with
Yes,
you?
madam. I'm from Sri Lanka.
Welcome.
I joined the session today. The last things I just watch and get from our provincial department. Thank you very much, Sir Rajiv. So we had a very nice time with you and sharing the things. I'm one of the deputy principal in uh, Bandar Zonal Education. Because to that,
Welcome, sir.
uh,
Welcome, sir.
and ma'am, this is the problem we are having. Most of the children, they don't know move with much with the technology. So the children they very, tend to do the things with mobile phones. So then the parents and the struggle with the things how to keep away from these phones. Most of the time, sometimes the students are very tricky. So it's very, as well as in the school, the concentration time is very poor. So what are the suggestions? How, I don't know how about it in India.
Yeah, we cannot avoid a technology this era. If I give you certain whole my audience, if I ask you to have view, what you do first? You go to the mobile, get research on
Yeah,
it, and go to
yeah,
on ChatGPT, get the prompt and get the answer from you. And we are doing the same thing. Are we able to wanted to ignore the technology? No, because coming
no,
era is coming with the technology. So they don't need to understand. Then children and adults need to understand how to make best use of technology in the class or
yeah,
outside the class or in the life later on. So the technology uses in the life will be more dependable, but they need to understand technology is for you. You are not for the technology. So that
yeah,
message is to be clear in a very different way. My utilizing, if they were using more, give them prompt in such a way their creativity, as Rashmi ma'am said, creativity is required to be more, I can say, impactful in such a manner. You give prompt in such a way. You want to research roses in Sri Lanka. So give
yeah,
that prompt in such a way that ChatGPT cannot give that prompt. Give that
yeah,
particular name of reason, go to your reason, research on your reason, and then get which type of rose is there in your in your reason, respect to reason. So everybody is working on different reasons. So you need to go for certain prompts and get the time and get come with a creative picture and the earth or whichever you feel like. As a teacher, we are very creative. We need to be creative then because information I cannot better than the kids. My kids is always better in information because they have a bunch of information. They have a lot of exposure. We don't have, and
yeah,
we are scared with sharing with Rashmi ma'am or anybody else. As an
yeah,
adult, we are very scared to share things, but they are good at sharing, communicating, and exchanging. If you ask them X, Y, Z, you have certain things, they will give you without thinking of anything. But we think I have to give. I will not give to Rashmi ma'am, otherwise she will use it for their own purpose. So as an adult, we don't use how to use technology. They are faster in it. So we need to understand their strengths. But as you rightly said, the involvement of space time, screen time, which is important for us also.
yeah.
How many hours you look at your mobile log, how many hours you are using mobile, you will get the answer in 3 days.
Yeah.
We don't need
Thank
to.
you very much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And
Yeah,
anyone else, you can see their chat and invite them 1 or 2. We still have, maybe
2 minutes.
5 minutes. Then we
Yeah,
have got
5 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can make it 5 minutes in case
Yeah,
somebody is
no
interested
problem.
to ask. Yeah.
So I have a small question. Um,
Please.
Sir, it's regarding this suicidal. When we say suicidal, how do we identify whether a child is suicidal? The reason I'm asking is I work in a preschool, and a parent came to me saying that a teacher had said that their child was suicidal. This is a preschool student. So the parents were very upset and they didn't know how to cope with that. And the mother was also getting very, disheartened and hurt. So how do we really, decide and when do we inform a parent? How do we, get involved in this situation? And at this
Uh,
young age, is it possible to at say 4 years old?
It is, I personally don't feel it is required, or a child, we need to identify. Why should we look at societal part? We look at the strength part. If you give them confidence or boost up the area where child is going to, because as an younger teacher, the challenge is because they also learn last 15 years in education. Last 20 years education is they're not focusing on observations. They don't say observe in a bus, on a train, on a flight, next sitting to you, you don't see how their reactions are. So we are not very observant in that age. This age is not observant. They're focused on their own. So we need to make the child observant. You need to give the space, as one said. I think Avinash sir said, they need to be understands how others are behaving for you. They need to understand the reactions of others, how people are, how ma'am is talking to me and reacting to me. They should understand the face by face reactions. They're able to understand. They need to involve, like interpersonal is very good word to say, but interpersonal from where will come? Where ma'am, what is the pronunciation of your first name, ma'am?
Bimuri.
Vimuri. Okay,
Yes,
so it's easy. How, your smile or your expression of anger, I'm able to judge very easily. So how it comes to me by observations only, because we don't send the child to go out on a field and do whatever you want to do. We don't do that these days. We keep them safe environment. Earlier in my school, early age, when I had 10 or 20 or 15 or at 8 years, my parents used to go there and then put the mat there. They ask, move wherever you want, come after an hour. Nowadays, they put a mat and they ask children to sit there and they move and get them things, bring things for them and bring back. That's the reason they don't know what to do when things are not there. So they do what? They do mobile only, which is very next to them because parents are doing. So that's a challenge. We don't need to identify negatives. If you write, don't spit here, people will spit there. It's a human tendency. If I don't need to, I don't believe we need to say no smoking in the schools. But government used to do it in the country. I don't expect. If you don't want to do, don't say to them. In my school time, in early stages, they don't say negative things to the child. They don't give to the mind. It may have comes after college. I used to get, oh, this is the word I should not say. They don't say those words to us. Avoid negatives, which gives them negative of disruptions or anger or anxiety. Anxiety. Virat Kohli used to say, "I use my anger into my the sports achievements. That anger I convert into my performance." So the anger which gives them negative or disruption should be converted from the child, and the child is very aggressive. He should be a better drummer. You need to identify as a teacher, and young teachers, it's very challenge for them also because they grown also in the same environment. They don't look what my I asked question in my class, who's your good friend, best friend? They said this one. So what is the bad habit? Where that friend aggression is being there? How to make that friend disturb? They don't know. At what things they like, they don't know. So how is their friend if they don't know anything about it? So it's these are simple things. We avoid negative gestures and try to look at the child, observe what child is wishing to say. I heard with one of my colleagues today, learns the skill of communicating with the cat. I am amazed to heard it. They can communicate with the cat, which is far off at least. So they have skills these days. So I cannot communicate in terms of without saying any words. Rashmi ma'am said, whenever child is doing certain wrong, you just hold for it 30 seconds. That the communication has happened automatically. We don't you say you did wrong. Just stare the child for a 30 second, 20 second. Child will accept the mistakes on its own. That's the beauty of the non-verbal communication. And the younger age, it's go very fast because they're very smart. 5 years child is too smart than 15-year child because they understand everything, but they are unable to communicate appropriately as society wants to listen.
We would really like to thank you, Rajiv Kohli sir, for this very interesting topic that you spoke with us. So we would like to have more lectures with you in the future also, sir. On behalf of the association, I would like to thank you and wish you a very good day.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Take care.
So high, I'm hypnotized. the end, but we'll see